They
How
absolutely
dare
dare.
they?
I
I
believe it.
cannot.
Absolutely.
Inappropriate.
Garbage.
Truly.
I woke up this morning ready to bash some heads in. So this is happening on the perfect day.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I am
Hey,
very excited.
hello everybody. It's us. We're live. We are live from the
Yep.
apocalypse. Thank you so much for joining us for the first part one of a two-part series of our Wildcard Wednesday series, the Eldritch Lady Badasses of Wrestling, the Miskatonic Screwjob. And
Yeah, just
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip
there
it,
it is.
baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack
This
one for the
person.
big boy.
I can't see anything with these glasses on. Thank you so much.
My glasses. I can't see with my glasses.
I can't see with my glasses on. It's true. We're live from the apocalypse. We play tabletop role-playing games on the internet to raise money for nonprofits and aid organizations and progressive causes and good things like that. So we just ask that if you like what you see here, instead of doing the normal Twitch things of subscribing or giving us bits or anything like that, you just take the $5 or the $6 or whatever you can spare. There is no expectation. And you give it directly to the organization we are fundraising for instead. And that organization is the First Nations Development Institute currently, which is a fantastic nonprofit that seeks to restore economic independence to Indigenous communities here in the United States of America. We are a little over a quarter of the way to our goal. We are very excited to continue to raise money for them. They're wonderful and fantastic. So if at any point during the stream you like what you see, you can hit ! Donate in the chat, and the bot will post the link. You can follow that link and give some money. And if you do that, the McElroy brothers will scream at us. They will interrupt whatever is going on the stream, and it will be very distracting. We'll have to get back on track. We literally cannot stop you from subscribing. Unfortunately, it is not a feature that you can turn off on Twitch. Just be aware that if you do so, beloved TTRPG figure Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog. He will kill one dog for every month that you have been subscribed to this channel. So really, it's a question of, what you can live with and if you'll be able to sleep at night. Maybe donate instead. Maybe that's the better option. So with all of that being said, that is most of the housekeeping. I think there are captions available. We're trying out a new method. There should be a button on your Twitch view, and if you hit it, it'll caption what's going on. There are some settings that you can control as well. And I think with all that being said, we'll turn it over to our keeper of arcane lore, Alex.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alex. I'm going to be your keeper of arcane lore and kayfabe this evening for the Miskatonic Screwjob, which is a Call of Cthulhu mystery adventure set in 1985 in the United States of America. Quick before we introduce all of the amazing humans who are going to be doing all of the heavy lifting and throwing and punching this evening. First on the docket is we'd like to do a quick land acknowledgement. Lovecraft Country, Seacoast, Massachusetts, along with most of all of New England, the United States, Canada, North America, South America, is found on land that was originally settled by indigenous peoples, and that land was forcibly taken from them by European colonizers. They were subject to really, really horrible actions, genocide, and displacement. And the first thing that we'd like to do is simply acknowledge that fact. And we'd like to acknowledge that Lovecraft Country exists on land, even though it is fictional, exists on land of real indigenous peoples, including those peoples of the Pawtucket, Agawam, Massachusetts, Nomkeog, and Pentucket peoples. So recognizing that is where this takes place. Not only that, but in a land acknowledgement, we'd also like to encourage you to take action of your own. And so one of the things you can do is donate to the First Nations Development Institute, which we are raising money for. Obviously, you don't have to, but support Indigenous artists, support Indigenous creators, support Indigenous communities in the work that they are doing, have been doing, and are still doing to this day to contribute all of the wonderful things to our society. So that is our land acknowledgement. If you are so moved, we ask that you donate and enjoy E.L.B.O.W. And so I will. Am I introducing myself now, Will? Is that what I should do?
Yeah, I set it up for you.
Okay. Hello, I'm Alex. You can find me at Mightiest Finn on Twitter. I, with my colleague Asa, write a series of gothic horror role-playing games. The first one was Backwater. Second one is Backroads, which will be out soon in the next month or two, I want to say. And if Ace is in the chat, he can correct me. But I am running my first AP stream ever here, and I am very, very excited and also very nervous. So please be kind, and I hope things go well. Fingers crossed. Thank you.
Do you want to just keep going in alphabetical order?
Yes.
Cool. That would be Bob.
Hey, everybody. My name is Bob McDonald, also referred to as Best Bob on Twitter by a lot of the Crossroad Games folks. I play games with Crossroad Games. I play games on other streams, and I am just really glad to be here. I am playing Steve Whitley, also known as Steve Whiplash. So those of you who have seen Outbreak, you might know that this is a callback to that character. Hope you guys are all great, and I can't wait to play.
And Candace.
Hi, everybody. Candace the Magnificent is probably how you see me around the internet. My pronouns are they, she. I'm going to be playing a rather long-named character tonight, King Evelyn Victoria Ignatius Longfellow, otherwise known as King Evil. And tonight I'm going to be here to smash faces, biscuits, and crumpets, if you know what I mean. Bring it on. Anything you want to do, keep I can do better.
Challenge
Perfect.
accepted.
Incredible. Farah.
Hello, my name is Farah Sarkaya. You can find me all over the internet at Farrakaya, as well as at Crossroads Games. Today, I am playing Roxy, also known as Nella Nebraska, as American as apple pie and sweet as the vanilla ice cream on top. Pronouns she, her.
Chrissy.
Hi, I'm Chrissy. You can find me in all the internet spaces as Chrissy in Color. And I am playing Melody Maynard Moreau, a hot chick with a hot temper who is here to drink wine and tear her enemies apart. And she is almost all out of wine. So, both of our pronouns are she, her. I'm ready to rock.
Nope, that was Farah again. And that's Chrissy. And now Piper. There we go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Piper or Matihis. You can find me on the internet. I use they, he pronouns. You can find me at Maddie Matihi on Twitter. And tonight I'm playing Betty Bash, of course, the transatlantic dame who will give you a kiss before she puts you down right on the mat.
And that just leaves me. Hi, hello, my name is Will. You can mostly find me here live from the apocalypse. I'm one of the storytellers and the organizers here, and I do a bunch of things and run a bunch of games. And I think this is pretty much our only thing this week. It's a very late week for us. Sunday, we're going to be playing a Dresden Files game. Come back for that. But tonight, I'm going to be playing Don Whitley, the burned out wrestler and a hot dad tonight. And I think that is everything. We're all he, him.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I don't know that there's anything else I want to do besides thank Will for all of the effort that he put into our amazing promotional material and the tech that he's running, and to thank all of the players for what I'm sure is going to be a wonderful stream, and to thank everyone who's watching. So, without any further ado, let's play some Miskatonic Screwjob. So, as I've said, the year is 1985, and Hulkamania is sweeping the nation. I don't know if you know this, but in the 1980s, wrestling is one of the most popular sports in these United States, and people love it. They absolutely love it. And for good reason, because we have incredibly talented wrestlers all over this great nation of ours, including the fine people at the Eldritch Lady Badasses of Wrestling, or E.L.B.O.W, which is our here in the Arkham market, our local women's wrestling league. And at the moment, it's July 3rd. And like Stanley Kubrick, our opening shot is of a large van driving its way down the road, going through crop fields, good old-fashioned American farmland. And the camera, swooping over like a hawk, takes us into the van. And who is driving this magnificent beast of a vehicle, painted with the E.L.B.O.W colors and symbol?
I mean, if no one else is driving. Then you see in the front seat, kind of with her hands wrapped around 10 and 2, very carefully watching the road, you see Betty, but not in her usual kind of dolled up, full red lips, like no contoured facial kind of makeup at all. Instead, you see almost kind of this very slight, boyish figure. Kind of wears this dowdy dress shirt that's slightly tucked into their pants. It's brownish shade corduroys that go all the way down, and these very smart loafers on their feet. She has her hair kind of done up in a little bit of a kind of pump, but keeping eyes just dead on the road. You see these very deep, dark brown eyes that she has, just carefully kind of surveying, making sure that, you know, okay, we're gonna make sure that we're in our lane and we're gonna drive straight, all right? Make sure to stay straight ahead and don't look at other things, just straight ahead. It's all completely in her head, but her lips move slightly as she kind of talks to herself internally.
I assume you're driving like 2 miles under the speed limit.
I'm driving exactly the speed limit because
Exactly the
driving
speed.
too low is actually dangerous, but driving exactly, that's where you are.
Okay. So it's probably good for you that you're at the wheel in this situation, because you've been driving out of Arkham for 20 minutes or so, and you have not seen another car on the road. This is it's just a flat, empty stretch of road flanked by fields of agriculture and the occasional dilapidated barn. So there's really not even that much for you to look at. You can absolutely focus, laser focus on this road. And that's also probably good because the road is not in great condition. It's there are potholes, there are cracks, the edge of the road sort of falls away into nothing. So thank you for doing your best to keep E.L.B.O.W as safe as possible. We salute your service, Betty. The camera then will pan back into this, probably, I mean, it's a big van, but it's still a little cramped with the fact that there are 5 other human beings sitting in the back. There's a passenger seat. So who's sitting in the passenger seat? Probably navigating.
That might be Don.
Oh, who is this handsome figure we see?
Don is about 48, early 50s or so. He is pretty tall, in very good shape, but definitely starting to show his age. His hair is kind of long and salt and peppery. He's got a little bit of a facial scruff going on, and I think as he's sitting there, he does have aviators that I have taken off so that I can see the things that I have to do to make the stream work. But I think he is kind of leaning against the door almost, with like one blue jeaned leg up on the seat. Just you're not sure whether he's asleep or not.
That's good, because there really isn't any navigation you need to do. It's a straight shot from Arkham to Ashton Falls, which is your destination. You just hop on whatever the local highway is and you go, and then you don't get off until you hit Ashton Falls. So you are the man for the job, Don, and you're doing a great one. We salute
As
you
always.
for your service. Now we will pan back There are 2 rows of seats. So who's in the mid range, sitting maybe a little uncomfortably close together?
I think Roxy would sit behind her dad just because I guess if she has to be in proximity with anyone. Roxy is blonde hair, blue eyed, tall, very muscular, but like dressed in a slouchy sort of t shirt in a bunch of colors and track pants, just comfortable. She is taking up more space than is her due. And she is just kind of staring out the window, kind of fixing her nails, just to make sure that they're perfect for later on tonight when we get there.
And who's sitting next to Roxy?
Probably Melody. Melody is she's sitting, so you can't see it now, but Melody is actually pretty tall. She's about 5'10", and like deceptively muscular. Like you can see it sometimes when she moves. But as she's just relaxing as much as she can with what space Roxy has left her, she's currently dressed in, you know how like wealthy people will wear clothes that like have moth holes in them, and just the clothes that make it look like they don't care but cost ridiculous amounts of money. She has that kind of style going on. um but she doesn't currently have makeup on, but she's probably trying to apply some. And thankfully, Betty is driving because Betty is good at avoiding potholes.
All right. So the 2 of you seem to be lost in your own worlds. This drive is not long, but it's already so boring. I'm so sorry. We'll get there soon. I promise. We just have to meet 2 more very important people. And so the camera will pan back a little bit more to the back seat, where you guys have a little bit of luggage back there with you. So I hope you're making do and you're comfortable. Candace and Bob, would you like to introduce your characters?
My character is petite. They're about 5 feet, maybe like 5'5", somewhere between 5 and 5'5". So they are surprisingly comfortable with the luggage. They're probably sitting on their own bag as like a little booster seat, so that they're like up a little bit higher, so they can see like over top of everyone's heads and be nosy. They are black. They have kind of medium brown skin tone. Um, their hair is kind of short and curly with like a long kind of front bang that they have kind of swirled up on top of their head, sort of a mohawk shape in the back. Um, they are wearing like these little yellow and gray headphones that are like attached to a little yellow Walkman at their side. That's like clipped to their belt, which has like a bunch of studs and like hoops and rings and stuff hanging off of it. They're wearing like a unitard, like a one piece like thing all the way down, that has cut off sleeves, and then like a jean jacket over that with spikes on it, and some like combat boots. And they are kind of like smoking a cigarette out the window. Like the window, I imagine the van is like one of those little like poppy like things, and they're like smoking their cigarette out the thing, like trying to like be very discreet, while also just absolutely housing a tab soda and a bag of Funyuns.
Amazing.
And finally, on the van, closer to the inside, he's sort of like stuck in this corner, is Steve. He's 28 years old, very muscular, very athletic looking. He is very uncomfortable because of his injury. He's sitting in a car for too long can make him very, very stiff. And if he doesn't get out soon, he's probably going to get a little cranky. But to combat that, he is thumbing through a tattered and worn copy of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, and sort of ruminating on that and thinking about that.
How is Steve handling Eve's smoking situation and the crumpling of the bag and
He is definitely making looks over that way. Steve has always been one to take care of himself, so it being in this close vicinity to the smoking section is definitely not comfortable for him. But he does not like say, hey, he doesn't proselytize or anything like that. He just knows that if that were him, he wouldn't be smoking.
I think Eve like gets a vibe that they're being looked at, like they're like little spider sense tingles, and they finish their cigarette and kind of flick it out the window and look over and do a double take and see Stevie like looking at them like that, and she's just like,
He's the bad guy.
"What do you want? You look all stiff. You look like you're having some problems. Do you want what do I have? I got some muscle relaxers. I got some let's see, I might have some Quaaludes. And I've got some of these." And she pulls out like this clear plastic baggie full of joints. "It's from the earth. You can't be upset with me. It's from the earth. It is what it is, and you look like you're having a hard time. So I figure that maybe you are interested in trying something new today, Steve."
Not today. Not today.
Okay.
But I appreciate the offer.
You do that holistic shit when you work out your muscles?
You like yoga and things like that?
Yeah, that earthy shit. And like, the soft stuff like Advil. Is that what you do?
What?
Advil, like when you take
medicine
for your muscles.
Yeah. I mean, I might take a couple at that. Yeah.
This conversation is quickly drowned out by the sound of a plane flying very low overhead. And Betty, I don't know how well you react when the plane flies like right over the road, but it's a big old biplane crop duster, and it's bright red, and it says Derlith Enterprises over it. And you can see it like crosses the road and goes into this pattern and just starts throwing whatever crop stuff it throws all over, And it's very clear that you are in this like agricultural part of town of the state. And you're driving, and it's not changing until you get to a point where there's like a little hill. You drive up the hill and you crest it, and you see three things immediately. First, you see the town of Ashton Falls, which is where you're headed. And if you guys are all sort of local to Arkham, you know that this is like, it's got this reputation as like a sleepy beach resort town. It's got a long, like, secluded harbor with a good beach. It's got like hotels and restaurants, but like it's like one of those things that if you know it, but most people don't. And so it's got this kind of exclusive air to it. It's fancy, but not super. It's not like we're on the Cape or anything. We're still just north of Massachusetts, just north of Boston. But so you see the town spread out before you, and it's a little bigger than you thought or remembered it to be. Second, you see a large billboard that is pretty faded. It looks like it's been there for a while, but it's got a face that you recognize on it. Chrissy, what was the name of your character? I'm sorry.
Melody. It's got Melody standing there with a big old grin on her face, and she's holding a can of something. And it says, "Drink Red Eye Cola. Wake up the right way." And it's got like an American flag behind her. And just enough so that you can barely see it, it reads, Red Eye Cola, a subsidiary of Derlith Enterprises.
I will kick Melody in a camaraderie kind of way and be like, oh my God, I've never seen one in the wild. This is amazing. Slow down. We have to take a closer look. Look at that.
We
They're so
absolutely
big.
we absolutely don't we do not. That stuff is nasty. I do not recommend it. Also, that place is kind of like a cult. I'm not gonna lie. The people that work for it are a little weird.
Oh, we're on a tight schedule, so I'm not planning on stopping right now.
I'm gonna lean
Sorry.
over to whisper to Roxy. For a tight schedule, she's driving awful slow.
Also, it's really fucking embarrassing.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, I'm just trying to help you out. You don't want everybody looking at your fucking national shame.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Okay, but like, have you been on a billboard?
Why would I want to be on a billboard?
I don't know. Like, look how tall she is. It's great.
Evelyn,
No, I'm perfectly all right in my size. Thank you.
Evelyn, we talked about this in the van. We don't need to remind Melody how embarrassing the billboards are.
Yeah.
She knows.
You're right. You're right. We did talk about it. I said I was going to be. You know what? It's not embarrassing. It's a grand achievement, and you should be really proud of yourself.
I'm just really glad that this isn't one of the lingerie ads.
Wait.
Oh my
this
God,
one's
where
the
are
rainbow
those?
board? All right.
Thankfully, mostly taken down.
Mostly though. Okay, you have to figure out where the last one is, and then Daddy can get us a job in that town, and then we can go and we can see it, and we'll take pictures.
I mean, or
I'll
you
get
could,
right on that.
just, I mean, I'm sure you've got, lots of postcards and, other memorabilia and things you could show us if you wanted to. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying if you happened to want to show people, you could.
You see that Betty's hand reaches for the radio and just kind of like is awkwardly turning it up, and it's just Kate Bush.
Yes, absolutely it is. And that's a good backdrop for the third thing that you see. So you crest the hill and you continue sort of down it, and as you're on the slope into town, you pass by the sign that says Ashton Falls, founded 1929, population 6,345. And it's neat, it's clean, it is an immaculate looking sign with some nice fish and whales and shit to make it look like it's a family friendly town. And there is a person standing next to the sign. And this person is tall and big old bushy beard, bald head, wearing a trench coat, some battered jeans. And this person is holding a sign and just standing there. And the sign says, "Beware the Queen in Red."
I just kind of look back at Evelyn. Do you think he knows we're coming?
I mean, it would seem so. Your costume, my costume, we are queens. So maybe. They start
Betty, how do
patting
you-
themselves down for another cigarette.
Betty, how are you? He's very close to the side of the road, uncomfortably close. How are you? How do you react to this?
I think that I need to roll to see how they react.
Would you like to make a drive roll?
I was gonna make a power check. In this case,
Just like a sanity roll?
a sanity roll, more of a how can I maintain course when I see something interesting over here?
Is your POW higher than your drive?
My drive is slightly lower.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a POW check just to focus.
Nope, I failed. That's a 39 over 35.
Oh God.
Okay.
You start feeling the car start to slow down as Betty is just so interested to talk to this man.
So not only does the car slow down, but you're looking over where he is and your hands just sort of, the car just starts to veer a little bit towards him and he's just standing there.
Betty,
He
Betty?
does not move.
Yeah.
Betty,
Yeah.
the road?
Oh, shucks. Oh, heck. Oh, gosh. And
Tighten up,
swerve.
Bash.
But sorry, I got
So
distracted.
yeah, in a game of chicken with the van, the person with the sign wins. The van sort of swerves back onto the road, overcorrects, and if you look back and he has not turned around or anything. He's still just holding his sign, standing there, pointing out of town.
I'll look towards Don and say, do you know what that means at all?
Well, whoever that queen in red is, she must be a hell of a wrestler.
Well, why would he be standing there? That's weird, even for fan behavior.
That's dedication.
Is that what they like? Really?
You at the big leagues, they won't be standing on the side of the road. They'll be jumping in front of your car.
All right, well, maybe I'm going to rethink that career choice. All right, let's just keep going.
All right, so you get into Ashton Falls proper, and Donald, you may need to start actually directing now because you have a destination. You are supposed to check in at the Seaview Palace Motel, which is on the water. It was billed to you as a very lovely and economical choice. And being as, money is what it is, that was clearly the option that we chose. You are supposed to meet the owner of E.L.B.O.W, Roberta Chambers, there. And it's evening sunset-ish, so, we're getting to the point where you'll probably want to check in and spend the night. But as you're driving through Ashton Falls, making your navigations, this is clearly like picturesque small town America out of a Steven Spielberg movie. There's like red, white, and blue bunting. They've got the flags on the street poles. There are little kids wandering around eating their ice cream. Uncle Sam on his stilts. They're clearly getting into the fact that the 4th of July is tomorrow. In fact, as it's getting dark, you're probably hearing people setting off their approved fireworks. We certainly wouldn't go to New Hampshire to buy the illegal ones. Because they live free or die there, and they're crazy. But here in Massachusetts, the good fireworks, wholesome Americana, and you eventually come to the Seaview Palace Motel, and at least one of those words is accurate. It is a motel. In that, it has a sign that says it's that. You can sort of see the ocean from here, but it's half obstructed by a parking structure and like some condos. If you squint, you can see it. And you pull into the parking lot where you recognize that Roberta is already here in their very flash red Camaro.
Well, it looks like Birdie beat us, but there wasn't much of a chance they wouldn't.
Yeah, Justin fucking grip it, baby. Slop that down, dude.
We're safe. We're here.
Dude, crack one for the big boy.
I got parked. I'm shifting it, pulling up the parking brake, even though we're on a flat plane.
Yeah, rotating the wheels so that you don't...
They don't move, just in case, on this very flat Earth.
Yes.
This is taking way too
great,
long.
Betty.
Too long. I think that Eve has already opened the trunk of the van from the inside and is just kicking people's luggage out of the back so that they can get out and just kind of shimmy through the back seat. Stevie, watch your head. And they get out, immediately light a cigarette, kind of lean against the van.
Oh my god, don't knock my costume. It's gonna get dusty. And I don't think they have laundry.
Nobody ever told you about garment bags?
I guess.
See them take a really long drag. They put their cigarette out and walk over to the Camaro. They're kind of eyeing it. Is she in it?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Evelyn, don't touch that. You know how they get. Don't touch it.
All right. I'm not going to touch it.
Stevie does get out of the van and he is immediately twisting and stretching his back and doing some weird, probably yoga sort of stretches on the van, near the van, trying to loosen up his back from sitting for so long.
While Betty is still like getting the perfect position between the lines.
Yeah, I back up into the spot because it's easier to pull out.
Absolutely.
That's what he said. Sorry.
Incredible.
Candace, you can have a bonus dice too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it's the van, the flashy Camaro, and there's one other car in the parking lot. I will have all of you make me a straight intelligence check. This is like memory, putting 2 and 2 together. No.
Roxy is good at a lot of stuff, but she's not exactly clever. But that's okay, because she's pretty.
Nope.
That is a 68 over 50.
85
76.
over 50.
76
We're
over 70.
We're doing great.
70 over 60.
Great
So
start, guys.
We're doing
Love
great, guys.
95 over 40.
Oh my
This is what everyone came to see.
All right.
Y'all.
Off to a great start.
Oh
Hey.
my god.
Burn it now. Get those bad rolls out of the way. All right. So
Hear that, Bob?
yeah.
It's like a gold, like 70s hatchback that's mostly rust at this point. I won't say more about it because you all failed.
I think
that's
Roxy
fair.
grabs her bag and kind of looks around to see if Birdie is anywhere within sight, or if there's like a restaurant or like, I don't know, probably not. But...
Well, so you've parked in a space, and this is probably because Betty was being very thoughtful. You've parked in a space that is directly across from the main office, which is presumably where you would, check in, get your rooms, that sort of thing. And it's like a glass door. You can see there are people in there. So like, first things first, you probably want your motel keys and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go get the keys for the rooms. Nobody go anywhere.
In a
Stay
town
here.
like this, where would we go?
Yeah. Stevie sort of looks around and says, I don't think there's any.
All right. That's what I like to hear. And I'm going to go to the office.
All right, so Don, you walk in to the main office, which has all of the sort of architectural and aesthetic appeal of a road accident. It's just an accumulation of styles and furnitures, none of which match and all of which clash horribly. There are 3 people in here, 2 of whom you recognize. The first is Roberta Chambers, your boss, and the owner of E.L.B.O.W. And they are... I had described them as Grace Jones, and that's basically what they are. Like, dark-skinned individual, like, beautiful clothing, very well cut, very stylish and fashion-forward, short-cropped hair, and they're just sort of sitting there smoking a cigarette directly underneath a sign that says no smoking. And Roberta looks up at you as you come in, and they just sort of give you a nod. The other person that you recognize is at the counter, not behind the desk, but in front of it. And this particular individual is a late 20-something gentleman in his like work attire, cargo-y pants, boots, flannel shirt, sort of straggly, longer blonde hair. And this is Howard Brown, who is Betty's biggest fan. And he is currently talking with the clerk. He's getting his keys, and he turns around and walks out without sort of acknowledging you.
Don is definitely the type of person who's going to be like, hey, Howard.
Oh,
nice to see you again.
Do I know you, man?
Just one of those faces, I guess.
Oh, that's what my mom tells me. But happy 4th.
Happy 4th, Howard. See you later.
He like gives you another weird squint and is like, okay. And he will walk into the parking lot where he immediately sees all of this happening, sees the E.L.B.O.W van, and just like makes a beeline for Betty. It's like, oh my god, E.L.B.O.W, what are you guys doing here? That's crazy.
I want to try, because I'm in kind of in boy mode in a sense. I'm not very good at disguise, but is there a way I could potentially obscure myself?
I think there is you have performance act, correct?
I do.
I mean, if you want to like try and change your posture or like, do some stuff to make you seem very much not the Betty character, I'd certainly allow for that.
Okay.
May I assist? Because I suspect Betty has told us that they're not into this. So, like, I will happily run interference.
Do you want to do more of like a intimidate or persuasion check? Or
I can do persuasion, and then if he doesn't go away, then I can do intimidation check.
My favorite. Okay. Yeah, so Farah, why don't you run a persuasion check, and if you succeed, then we will give Betty a bonus die on their acting roll.
That is 19 under 35.
Amazing. So Piper, then you get a bonus die, which means you roll 2 10s dice, and you take the lower one.
Gotcha. Let's see. Well, I think I'm taking the lower one, the first roll there, because that's a 9 under 75.
All right. So Howard approaches, and Roxy, how do you run the interference here?
Oh my god! You're here again! Howard, you said?
Howard, yeah.
Howie! Oh my god! I can't believe you followed us. And I try to like project so that Betty can hear me. What are you doing here? Are you here to watch the show? Or like, what's up?
Yeah, his focus definitely shifts to you because you are like right up in his business, and that absolutely gives Betty enough time to like duck out of the way, pretend like you're you're the baggage person.
Yeah, I'm just a baggage boy. I'm right in the bag. Complete different posture, like a little bit more hunched. More hunch than Betty Bash is, for sure.
So he's like, oh, I come here every year for the 4th of July. My family lives here. I had no idea you guys were going to be here.
Yeah. Oh, what a crazy coincidence. Weird that you're staying in a hotel if your family stays here.
That's
but
what I was
like,
about
whatever.
to say.
Oh, well, it's like, my parents, they downsized when they became empty nesters. So they just don't have a space for me,
Totally. I totally get it. Anyway, we're getting all of our stuff together. Maybe you can go get settled and we'll see you later.
At this point, you hear the distinct squeaking of wheels, like pushcart wheels. And one of the motel employees, like sort of a younger woman, hair done up in a bun, got her, the classic hotel maid uniform on, but like muscular. She stops and looks at the two of you and is like, this guy giving you any trouble?
Oh, aren't you just the sweetest? No, it's okay. Thank you, though.
All right. If you need me to throw him out, just let me know.
Absolutely. I would love that. Maybe later, though.
She gives you the finger guns and a wink and keeps on her merry way.
People are so friendly here.
Yeah, it's that Ashton Falls charm. Dawn, you're in the main office, getting your keys from the attendant who looks like he would rather be any fucking where else than right here, right now, in this moment.
Yeah, John's gonna step up to the desk and put his arm on it and kind of like lower his aviators just enough to see the guy behind the counter and be like, so go in there, Chief.
Fine.
Well, I'm sure to pick up the keys for the E.L.B.O. rooms. Birdie, is it under E.L.B.O.?
Birdie's just like, E.L.B.O., 3 rooms.
Yeah, what they said.
He like looks at his clipboard. He's like, you're with them? They're scary.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got you 3 rooms on the oceanside view side, so you won't be looking at the parking lot.
Yeah, thanks.
And he pushes you 3 room keys, and then he's, yeah, you just gotta sign for him.
Don never signs his name, so he'll just he's gonna hook a thumb at Roberta and say, yeah, they're gonna take care of that.
There is a very deep sigh from the Roberta side of the room, and they put out their cigarette and like walk over and give you a little bit of a shoulder check. Just like, if you're not going to do things, why are you in my way? And quick signs for it, throws the pen down and is like, if you need me, I'll be at the Biachi, which is the good hotel in town. And then walks out.
Conspiratorially, Don will say to the clerk, kind of acts like a Biachi, am I right?
He gives you the 1,000-yard, I am a retail customer service employee and I cannot make a statement on that either way.
For a second, Don contemplates that this man probably didn't hear his joke and that's why he didn't laugh, but he's not going to tell it a second time. Not this time.
No, don't stoop to that level.
Yeah.
All
Moments
right,
passed.
so you get the keys and there are room assignments with them, because you have to put down who's staying in which room, and Roberta already handled that for you. So fortunately, Dawn and Steve, you will be staying together. Roxy and Melody, you will be staying together. And Eve and Betty, you will be staying together. And you are all in...
Oh my god, I super didn't expect that.
You are staying in rooms 301, 302, and 303.
Good news. They're oceanside.
I bet they're like super lush. Just so lush.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, lot to do.
Yeah.
Alex, is the match tonight?
The match is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
So I figure we will get everyone settled and then sort of fast forward, but there are some nighttime things that we'll want to do. So.
Yeah, for sure. Don's going to kind of, say to the assembled wrestlers, all right, it's the night before a match, so standard rules apply. No drinking, no staying out late.
Oh my god.
Healthy food, good night's sleep. Right?
Yep.
Right? All right. Good.
Steve immediately says, right.
If I had $1 for every time I've heard you say that since I was like 10, I'd be staying at the Biachi.
Maybe you shouldn't have started drinking when you were 10. Did you ever think about that?
I mean, who offer anyway?
Evelyn, you got a question, or you just
Donnie? Is there a way we can? Is there takebacks? Is there another situation? Could we, mix it up? Is there a number we could draw of a hat? Is there, or is this pretty much locked in? And I gotta I know we talked about choosing your battles, and I just want to make sure that this isn't a battle I should be choosing because I want to choose it.
You know what? That's fair, and I think we can be flexible. Just this once, I think we can make an exception. Evelyn and Betty, you're going to be in 302. Melody and Roxy, you're going to be in 303. So switching your rooms, just like you asked.
That's great. I love an even number. So,
all right, problem solved.
So good. Stevie, do you need help with your bags?
No, I've got mine. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I loosened it up after I got out of the van. I'm good.
Oh. Well, we
All right,
tried.
so you did. Bless your hearts. So everyone grabs their luggage, heads to their assigned rooms, and it is like, this motel was built in 1950, and then someone said, no further. Will this go? It's like, it would be kind of cool. It's got that sort of like retro futurist vibe to it. All of the furniture and stuff has the kind of like aerodynamic airplane sort of vibes, but it's just not well maintained. It's grungy and dirty. It seems like maybe the maid service is better at throwing out creepy guests than they are at cleaning rooms, which, maybe that's a point in the motel's favor. I don't know. But all of the rooms have like this large window that probably once did in fact look right out over the ocean. But all of you are now staring directly at, 1985 Ford Escorts and things in the parking structure, as well as the yuppies having dinner in their condos. It's not a great view. I'm sorry. And although the beds are, clean, they're not comfortable. If there's any sitting and pat, like these are hard, sort of knobby beds. Not good. Does everyone have a sort of evening routine that they go through on the night before a match?
I think. Go ahead.
Please.
I was gonna say. Usually Betty will do affirmations in the mirror about, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're gonna get him tomorrow. It's gonna be good. You're gonna do good, baby. And kisses the mirror. There's like a little lipstick mark, and then immediately kind of switches back into themselves and just like, goodness, and kind of wipes it off, trying to clean it as they made a mess. They also have half of their luggage is books currently. I should say books, and there's like 2 or 3 fragile objects. You can tell they're kind of wrapped up in like a little blanket, like a little handmade kind of crocheted blanket. But they grab one of the books, kind of all about I would say kind of different occult symbols around the world. And after they do their little affirmations for the night, do a lot of exfoliation, kind of clean themselves up, just very shiny. They kind of sit in very uncomfortable chair in the hotel room and just kind of bring their legs up to their chest, little leg warmers on, big oversized sweater, just kind of hunker down with this book.
All right. I will say that prior to hunkering down, as you're in the bathroom at the mirror, you catch a sound, like a very light cough. And I think you're familiar enough with Eve to know what their coughing sounds like. And this is not that. And you catch a whiff of honey. And you smooch the mirror, and when you pull back, it's not just you standing in the mirror. There's another person there. They're older. Their hair is gray and pulled back into a bun. Their face is very gaunt, dressed in like Depression era dress, kind of a frilly collar, but very plain and basic pattern. And their eyes look terrified. I'm not going to have you make me a sanity roll because you know who this is.
just staring straight towards the mirror, but in an angle that I can still see her in my vision. I kind of drop my voice low and say, "What's going on? What's happening? This is different for you."
She just sort of pivots and starts pointing, and you see that the direction she would be pointing in is like at the window.
Is there in like the window in the main room?
Yeah. So like you're in the bathroom, and as like her reflection in the mirror is such that the place there she's pointing would take you out into the main room and to the window.
I think I grab my purse off the bathroom vanity, shrugging it on my shoulder, just hand inside of it, and I'll slowly, still with grandma in the mirror, just have eyes until I hit the door frame and then kind of peer very carefully.
Eve, what does Betty see in the room? What are you up to?
I'm pacing on the furthest side of the wall of the room that we're sharing. I'm like pacing back and forth. There's probably a cloud of marijuana smoke kind of like permeating this area. And every couple of seconds, I kind of like anxiously like glance over to the bathroom. And when I finally like see her come out, I'm like, and I cover my face and I keep like my meditation is like also a mantra, but I repeat it to myself over and over as I kind of like walk around and I get stoned and I listen to really, really loud ska and like early ska and like punk rock and stuff in my headphones to like psych myself up. But right now I'm trying to also avoid a rather dicey situation, maybe. All of this.
Right. So Betty, you see the window, which is open, and you can see out just like there is a narrow field of view that gets you to the ocean, and that seems to be what Grandma is pointing at.
I think I'll look towards the ocean, kind of glance back to Grandma in the mirror, and then look back.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it, baby. Slop
If
that
you
down,
see,
dude. Yeah, dude, crack one for the big
Betty
boy.
walking forward and close to you, but past you, and kind of grabs the curtains and shuts them.
What do we need privacy for? What are you doing?
That's fine. It's not for privacy. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry to scare you. Just needed to do that.
Yeah, well, I know you do weird stuff before your matches. I'm not judging you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway, I will leave you to your pacing.
I won't bug you. And they'll awkwardly start to shuffle back towards the bathroom.
I think like Eve like watches them. Like watches her, she goes back into the bathroom and like as they finally get in there, kind of like peeks around the room, like what the fuck? Goes to the window, like opens it a little bit, like peeks one eye out.
As you open the window, you see a reflection because it's getting dark and, there's light on in the room, but the reflection is not yours. The reflection is of an older woman, as I've described. And she is crying blood red tears.
What the fuck is this?
Make me a sanity roll.
What?
It's too early for this. Oh no. 48 over 40.
All right. You're going to lose.
It's only 2 sessions. Alex is going hard.
Oh my God.
You're going to lose 2 sanity points as you hear her scream in your ear. Innsmouth.
What? Ah! Fuck.
What?
Jesus.
What's going on?
And then she's gone.
You tell me what the fuck is going on. Oh my God, there's some old lady in the window and I don't know. Jesus. Is this you and your weird shit? I don't do the weird shit. You do the weird shit. Fuck.
No, you saw her.
An old lady?
Yeah, you saw her.
Yeah, she was like crying or something. Like,
was crying.
Oh God.
I thought the shutting of the window would help.
Wait, you see the lady?
Well, yeah, I see the lady.
She's staying in here right now with us.
I'll look in the bathroom mirror if she's still there.
She is gone.
Well, she's not currently here anymore, but she was.
Listen, if that old bitch comes back, you let me know because I can't really fight a ghost, but I can yell at it.
She's nice. She's a very nice lady. She's a bit troubled and trying to find out why, but I haven't really gotten any answers yet.
Oh, you do that now?
What?
You do that now?
Do what?
Talking to ghosts and such.
I mean, she doesn't talk, so I can't really talk to her at all.
I'm gonna go to bed. This is too fucking much.
I don't know if I'll just. Do you mind if I leave this light on here?
No, I mean, do what you need. It's fucking weird in here. There's like a weird vibe. There was already a weird vibe when I walked in here, and it's now it's gross. Really, all right. I'm just not having a good time. I got a lot to do tomorrow. Fucking Dawn said to go to bed early, and it's getting late. So I'm trying to tighten up. Trying to be healthy. And they take like a really long pull of a cigarette.
Right. I'll be turning it off soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, thanks. Keep your ghosts to yourself.
I'll try. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, the camera is going to pan through the motel wall into the next room, which I believe is that Roxy and Melody. Is that how we set it up? What's going on in this room? How are you guys holding up?
Melody's probably getting some stretches in. Are we? So, we're not actually like listening to your dad, right? We're gonna go have at least a little bit of fun. I mean, I'm sure there's not a whole lot of fun to be found here, but maybe there's a biker bar.
Oh my God, yes. Listen, what he doesn't know won't hurt him, and it's not as if we haven't done that before and won anyway. So whatever, he'll be fine. Just put some pillows under the blankets. Every time it gets him.
I would love for both of you to make me a listen check, if you don't mind.
Oh, this is gonna go so good, you guys.
I love it. Glad to hear it.
Oh, it actually totally did. That's a 12 under a 20.
Oh, damn. All right.
Nice.
Nope, that is another 85. I am putting these dice away.
All right, so Melody, you're probably a little wrapped up in your stretching to figure out, to hear what's going on. But Roxy, there's the sound of crinkling paper or something coming from under one of your beds.
Oh my God. If this place has rats, I am going to go and just... Daddy will hear about it. And I'm going to get down on the ground and look under the bed.
All right. Make me a spot hidden roll.
Okay. That is a 50 over 30, so a fail.
All right. So you get down under the bed and it is dark for some reason. The light of the room just does not hit far enough for you to see under the bed, but you get... It's very clear now that there is something wrestling with something under here, and you get the very faintest glimmer of an eye. Just a small one. Just a little itty bitty one.
So gross. Do the lamps, can I pick them up off the bedside table?
Of course.
Yeah, I'll take the shade off and stick it under the bed.
All right, so you illuminate under the bed, and you see a rat of significant size, and it's got its little rat hands on a crumpled up ball of paper. But that's not the weird thing about this situation. The weird thing about this situation is that instead of a face that you would expect a rat to have, it has the face of a really old, grumpy man.
No.
Like wrinkled, long, straggly hair, liver spots, beady little eyes, and I'm going to have you make me a sanity check.
That makes sense. That's a 68 over a 60.
Okay, you are going to lose 2 points of sanity, and you just like, fall back. The lamp goes away, and you hear, little rat feet heading somewhere.
Oh my god. It was disgusting. What kind of rats do they have here? I am going to go and tell Daddy we have to switch rooms because this is disgusting. I cannot stay here.
You said rat?
Yeah, but it had like a weird deformed face, and I am not here for that. I will not sleep in this room.
We near a nuclear plant or something?
Good point.
I don't know. But
yeah,
I mean,
probably.
Do you want to stay in the room with that thing? Because I very much would like to leave.
No. I will. I'll follow you.
As soon as you say, "Do you want to stay in the room with that thing?" the crinkled ball of paper that you saw gets kicked out from under the bed and just like rolls into the center of the room.
I jumped.
Did you drop something?
No, that's what the rat was eating or playing with or something.
I'll pick it up.
It's a ball of paper that's slightly damp now from rat saliva.
I'm gonna unwad it to make sure it's not like something important for the hotel. Just barely touching it.
Yeah. So you unroll it, and it's very familiar. You remember that lingerie ad that we mentioned before? That's this, but your eyes have been X'd out. And someone has scrawled, "Get out," on it. Please make me a sanity roll.
That's a 96.
Okay, you are going to lose 3 points of sanity because that shit's fucked up. I assume you just dropped the paper and you guys are out.
Well, I mean, I'll show it to Roxy to see if it. But yeah.
Oh my god, Melody, what the heck? Yeah, let's go. And I'll just grab her arm and drag her out. Take the key, and just go banging on Don and Steve's door.
All right.
You said I lost 3 points?
3 points, yep.
Okay.
So this is actually going to be the second knock on Steve and Don's door. The first one came just a few minutes earlier while you were having your discussion about biker bars and whatnot. And it was the hotel front man, the guy that you got the keys from, Don. And he's sort of lounging there, and he says, picks up a piece of paper out of his hand, and says, "One of you guys, Steve Whiteley?"
Whitley.
Oh.
It's me here.
Yeah. And he hands you this piece of paper that just says, Phil Coin and a phone number. He was calling for you, wants you to call him back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll be glad to call him back. I haven't talked to him in a while.
And you know that Phil Coin is your good friend Jim Coin's brother. There is no phone in the room, though, so if you want to make a call, you're going to have to head to the front desk.
Can I catch the front desk guy and say, can I make this phone call up at the office there?
It's like, I'm not paying for it. You do you, my friend.
Okay, cool. And I'll follow him to the front office.
I'm also going to stop him before he leaves and just be like, hey, real quick, just a real quick question. There any biker bars in nearby proximity that I should know about?
Yeah, there's one, the Satan Rollers. It's like 3 blocks over.
Satan Rollers. Good to know. Good to know. All right, thanks.
You don't look like the type.
Not me, but I might end up there. But I might end up there later anyway.
Oh. He sort of looks at you with a little newfound respect. Like, all right. All right. Steve, you're making a phone call.
Yes.
All right, so you punch it in and answered like on the first ring, like maybe the first half ring.
Okay.
And it's Phil. He says, hello?
Hi. This is Steve Whitley. Is this Phil?
Oh, Steve. Yeah, hi. I didn't think you'd be able to get back to me so quickly. Listen, I got some bad news.
Well, how bad?
Yeah, just
well,
fucking
you
grip
sitting
it,
down?
grip it, baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah,
Steve
dude.
looks
Crack
around,
one for the
finds
big
a chair in
boy.
the office, and sits down. And he says, "I am now."
Listen, so you know that Jim had that bad accident a couple years ago after you got hurt. You know, he was in the hospital for a while.
Yeah. I can't believe that happened to him. What's going on?
Listen, I don't really know how to say it, but his knee was never the same after that, and I went over to visit him yesterday and found him at the bottom of the stairs. He's dead. Steve.
Oh.
Have you make me a sanity roll, because hearing about that is trauma.
Okay. Here goes something. That is a 28 over 25.
Ooh, okay. That's going to be 2 points of sanity lost to you, my friend.
Okay.
And he's like, I know you guys hadn't spoken in a while, but I thought you should know.
Yeah. Well, so is there anything you're going to do for him? Is there something I can do for you? I feel bad.
Oh, well, I mean, we're going to have a funeral here in like a week. You're welcome to come.
I'd be glad to come and maybe say something. I'm really, really sorry for your loss. He was one of my best friends in the business here, and I'm really sorry he's gone.
I appreciate it, man. We hadn't really spoken in a while. I hadn't heard from him, but I'll reach out with details when I have them.
Yeah. Please keep in contact with me. I'd love to know.
You got it. Thanks. I got some other calls to make, but stay strong, buddy.
My condolences to the entire family too. I hope that the grief is not long.
Thank you. And there's a click. And then you look up, and the front desk person has been like, just blatantly listening to this conversation the whole time. And he's like, sounds rough, man.
Yeah, did you get all of that?
Oh, yeah. I got really good hearing.
Thanks. Thanks for the use of the phone. And he'll walk out of the office.
Okay. At that point, you arrive back with Roxy and Melody banging furiously on the door to your room, where I assume Dawn is just opening it.
I will go straight in the room talking. I do not wait for you to let me in. Oh my god, there is a rat. It has a face. It has a piece of paper with Melody's face with X. We cannot stay here, and we certainly cannot stay in our room. This is absurd.
Listen, kid. When I was in the shit, I would have traded my gun for a rat.
You
All
don't,
right?
you don't understand. You don't understand. It had they have a picture from one of my lingerie ads, which I don't even know how they got because they stopped putting those out like years ago. And then they drew X's over my eyes and wrote "Get out" on the paper. You think Howard did it? Dude's a little
my god. Freak. Yeah, we
So-
can't stay here.
Sorry, this was a
not
rat?
safe.
How would Howard get into your room?
Good question.
No.
Yeah, especially because we switched your rooms right before.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care how he did it. I just care that there's a giant rat with a person's face that left a lingerie photo of Melody with her eyes crossed out in our room. And that is not a condition in which I am willing to stay. Like,
All right, you said giant rat. You mean like a metaphorical rat, just like a real
like the
untrustworthy
size of a
guy.
cat. Do you remember that cat we had growing up before Mom fucked off? Well, that size cat.
The cat that ran away. Yep, I remember that cat.
Yeah, I loved that cat. Anyway, it was a rat the size of that cat, and it was awful. But I think you're missing the problem that it had a face, not like a rat's face, but like a person's face. Listen, I can't. Can I just see if Birdie will let me stay in their room or like something? Or heck, I'll sleep in the van.
All rats have faces, sweetie.
Not people's faces.
I've seen some weird looking people.
Sometimes people have rat faces, but not usually the other way around.
Thank you, Melody. Thank you.
Okay.
Granted, I didn't see it. Roxy, you didn't break into Eve's stash,
No.
did you?
Listen, I live clean. Right, Stevie?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope you live clean.
Yeah. Besides, you said I'm not allowed to drink or smoke or do anything fun before our fight tomorrow.
That's right, and you're certainly not allowed to go to the Satan's Rollers 2 blocks over.
Oh, that's such a cool name. But of course, no, we wouldn't.
Cool name, but we definitely would not do that until after the fight, right? That's like a thing we could do after the fight.
Have celebratory drinks for our win. You're buying though, right, Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
We'll find some place, I'm sure. Look, all right, sounds like you two got a little excited about the match tomorrow. Maybe the yips. Maybe this is the yips. And you're seeing rats with faces of people.
Come to the room with us. I like the flyer or the ad is probably still there. And I would never destroy my own face like that.
She has a very beautiful face. It would be a shame.
All right. Steve, you want to go check out your sister's room? See if there's any
I will
weird
go
rats.
check out for weird rats and lingerie ads. Yes, I'll check that out.
All right, is it just Steve going?
I think Don will go. He doesn't have anything better to do.
Okay.
Also, is Steve giving off a vibe after the news that he just received?
Indeed.
It's a good question.
I think there's something, you can tell there's something on his mind, but he is not showing it. Roxy could probably tell that there's something going on internally, but nobody else can.
I'll skip ahead just a little bit because I suspect that you went ahead and just kind of link an arm through yours and say, is something wrong? You look kind of weird and like weirder than usual, you know?
He sort of under his breath says, it's okay. I received bad news about an old friend.
Oh, that super sucks. Do you want to go talk about it after you kill this rat for us?
I would love to go talk to you after I go kill this rat for you.
Thank you. You're the best brother.
So the four of you get into this room. Is the piece of paper still on the floor? Was that left?
That's what I was going to ask you. Is it still there?
Melody handed it to me, right, to show it to me, so I would have kept it.
Oh,
okay.
Unless you did not hand it over. I know you showed it to me, but
we can have done it whichever way you want. I figured you might not have wanted to touch it, so I imagine just holding it up. But if you would have touched it, then yes, she would have handed it to you.
I think in outrage, she would have grabbed it to prove to her dad that there was some weird stuff going on.
All right, so there you have the rat saliva thing. You are in the room.
Yeah.
I think Don is gonna glance at it and then become deeply uncomfortable and immediately just hand it back over and say yep, that is a lingerie ad. Yep, it sure is.
Her face though,
who would do that?
Right. Okay, and it was under that bed, and I'll point where the lamp is probably still on the floor.
Yep, the lamp is still there.
Steve is going to get down and look under the bed and check for rats.
I think Don is actually going to stop Steve from doing that and be like,
okay,
why don't you let me do that, son?
Good dad.
Okay.
He doesn't say anything about Steve's back, but he's, conscious of it.
So, Don, you get down on all fours and you look under the bed, and there is nothing there.
Yep, there it is. There's a regular rat, and there it goes. Ran into a hole in the wall. Stands back up, kind of brushes his pants off, and says, "Yeah, I mean, must have been a trick of the light or something. Just a regular old rat."
So I'll say, you do stand up, and you realize that there were 3 human faces in this room when you were laying down. There are now 4 human faces in this room, and there is a giant rat with a old man face standing on one of the beds. And as you raise up, you just come eye to eye with this thing. And I'll have you make me a sanity roll.
I'm too used to my bulletproof Call of Cthulhu character. That's bad.
Okay.
That's bad. I got a 62 over 50.
All right. So that is 2 points of sanity lost from the horrible rat with the human face. And then I'll have you make me a dodge roll.
Oh. Okay. $94 over 67.
All right. So
can I push it? Can I push a dodge roll?
I'm gonna say no, not right now.
That's fair.
Because this is a spur of the moment thing.
No, that's
just
fair.
yes or no. So you guys were all focused on Don on the ground, and you all have this moment of revelation where you see him and you see the rat all at once, and then you see the rat with its old man teeth lunge forward and bite him right on the face. Just boom, cheek. Don, you're gonna take a point of damage. And then everyone else who's in the room will need to make me a sanity roll. Meanwhile, Betty and Eve are just why is there all this screaming going on in the other room?
Oh, yeah. I have continued my pacing until I could hear the sound through the wall, and I bang on it as hard as I can. I look over at Betty, I'm 1 minute, and then I bang really hard. Brah, 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 brah. I thought you said we were supposed to go the fuck to sleep. What are you doing? Just keep banging on the door.
I assume you just hear Don yell, "Fuck!" as he is bitten by a rat with an old man face.
I look at Betty, I'm hey, I think that ghost is in another fucking room now.
Well, she's not here.
How did everyone do with their sanity rolls?
61 over 47.
I got a 9 under 23.
Nice, Steve. If you succeeded, 1 point of sanity damage. If you failed, 2 points. And there is a rat trying to bite Don's face off.
Like actively, like it's still happening.
It's still attached to your face, and you feel its little rat human teeth like gnawing away, trying to get to the bone or something.
Okay.
Can I try to punch it and yell,
Yeah.
Roxy, get my gun?
I was wondering if I could pick up the lamp and swing it at the rat.
I love where this is going. Thank you. So just to be clear, Will, your intention is to punch the rat biting you in the face.
And tell my daughter to get my gun, yes.
And tell your daughter to get your gun. Steve, your intention is to swing a very heavy lamp at your dad's face where there is a rat. And where there is a rat attached to it.
Let me be specific. I want to smack the rat off of his face. I don't want to smack him in the face.
No one said the wrestling match was starting the day before the event, okay?
No.
Nobody said that.
I would like to say that I have a prop that is a shovel.
Okay.
So instead of grabbing a gun, which seems like a bad idea, I'm going to pick up my shovel.
Okay. All right. Melody, how are you doing? What would you like to do?
I am just since I failed my sanity roll, I'm just gonna say she's just sitting there screaming.
Okay.
In fear.
Yeah. So also to be clear, the other room heard Don yell fuck and then heard Melody just start screaming. Take of that information what you will. Who has the highest dexterity of all of you?
My dexterity is 60.
Okay.
75.
Damn.
Okay, so Roxy, you would act first. So if you want to grab your shovel and smack the rat that is attached to your father's face, go for it.
I would like to do that. Brawl, I assume?
Yes.
Or, yeah, okay.
Yep, we'll go with Brawl.
Oh god, where'd that dice go? Fuck. That was definitely a success. That was a 49 under 74.
All right, that's great. I'm going to say that because the rat is attached to a face, it cannot dodge that, and it cannot fight back. So you can just roll damage.
Great.
Which would be a D4 plus your damage bonus, if you have one.
What would my damage bonus? Oh,
that's based on your build and your size.
Plus 1d. Oh, okay, so build one. 4? Does that sound right?
Yes, that does.
Okay.
All right. So, Dawn, you see Roxy go into her luggage, and you're like, does she have a gun that she's gonna use? Like, what's? And then she pulls out a shovel, and it's just like panic in your brain. And then you see the shovel swinging at your face, and you realize she's trying to get the rat off that way, and so you don't move. And there's just this thud. And the rat vomits out blood onto your face because its internal organs have been pulverized, and then it drops to the ground dead.
I'm not gonna get a gun and shoot in your face direction, dude. That's bananas.
The gun was for me.
No. Anyway, I told you there was a rat with a face.
Don, I am going to have you make one more sanity roll because you just got pulverized rat innards all over your face.
What if it was rabid?
So is that?
Oh, that's a great question, Chrissy. What if it was rabid?
Oh,
so is there anything left of the carcass? Because I want to like pick it up and bring it to the front office guy. And be like, listen, this is what we found in our room.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. There is remnants of the rat. It's a little squish, but yes.
I'm gonna pick him up by the tail, and I'm gonna walk over to the office and like flop it onto the front counter.
All right. Don, did you succeed or fail on your sanity check?
I got a 59 over 48.
Okay.
Oh, no.
1 more point of sanity damage to you, sir.
Okay.
Steve, you walk over to the front desk, flop this rat on the desk, and with its old man human face, and the front desk guy is just like, what?
This was found in my sister's room.
He looks down at it, looks up at you, looks down at it, looks up at you. He's like, I'm union man. This ain't my job.
I understand if you're union, whatever. We just need to know, is there more of these things? Do we have to worry about this? Like, should we go?
Listen, do you want me to throw it in the incinerator?
Yeah, please do that. Take care of that. That'd be great. I'm going to go back to the room and sort of sort this out with the other people.
Yeah. I'll like take 10% off your room tab.
Perfect. I'm sure Bertie will be great. I'll tell her tomorrow morning. That's great. Fantastic. See ya. Thank you.
He just very gingerly like wraps up the rat in like a newspaper, and you just see him walk into the back.
Meanwhile, I feel like I've rummaged through my bag and pulled out a bottle of vodka, and I'm starting to clean your face.
Is that vodka?
Listen, it's for after, and I'm using it to clean your face. So the fight, obviously. God, I'm 23. I can drink if I want. Just hold still.
Roxy, I think we should take him to the hospital.
Whoa, all right, let's not get hasty about this.
I was gonna say, Don,
let's not make a fuss.
You know that's the last thing that Birdie wants.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, so I knew this guy, right? He got bit by this squirrel, and about I want to say like 10 days later, the dude was dead. The squirrel was rabid. The dude got rabies, and he died. We need to take you to the hospital.
Listen, I wouldn't force any of you to go to a hospital in Ronald Reagan's America, and I expect you to show me the same courtesy.
I got bit by a rat that looked like that clearly was like distorted with nuclear waste. You wouldn't have to fight me to go to a hospital.
Melody,
Well,
the same courtesy.
maybe the radiation killed the rabies? Just take a drink so I can clean your face.
I will take a drink of the vodka.
All right. We'll say that Don gets cleaned up and maybe band-aided in the face or whatever. Whatever the E.L.B.O.W first aid kit has in it, which is probably not much.
I'm probably using like double-sided tape to fix your fit to like stick it on, not like actual bandages.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before we turn in for the night?
Yeah. After Steve comes back, I'll just be like, so do you want to like, and I'll hold up the vodka. Dad can't say shit. We can go chat. Like, you look kind of screwed up.
Dad can't say shit. I taped his mouth shut.
Don't talk too much. You're gonna pull the wound.
I mean, I'm not gonna, but yeah, we can go talk.
I'll leave it for Melody. And then pause at the door, turn around, take a drink, and then walk back out. So like a bench or something. You'll be fine. Just go hang out with Evie and Betty if you have to. I'll be right back, I promise. Just shout, Daddy can shoot it. If there's another one.
Just leave Don alone with his wounds and his emotions. Quiet.
And a gun.
Yeah,
And a gun.
Don is going back to his room to turn in for the night, and he is putting the gun under his pillow tonight.
Okay.
As he's walking off, Melody's gonna wave her arms. Don, I expect better accommodations next time. I know we're on a budget, but you can do better than this.
Yep. All right. Next time for sure.
We'll use all the money we save not going to the hospital.
Oh, God.
All right, let's have a quick brother-sister scene before we turn in and get ready for our big day.
Yeah, so I assume there's like a picnic bench or something.
Yeah, or like just a street bench on the street that might have looked out on the ocean at some point, but is now like in front
you're now
of the...
absolutely looking at a young couple having a very, very heated argument in their condo.
Cool.
And they refuse to draw the blinds.
It's kind of bump your shoulder and say, you know, if I could afford a condo like that, I don't think I'd be arguing so much, but like, that's just me. What's wrong? Your face is doing that thing. It does.
What thing?
That thing. You know the thing. You get this like scrunchy thing. It's very obvious. Never play poker.
Okay. I'll make sure I never play poker. I got a phone call from. Do you remember? Do you remember Jim Coyne?
The dude that hurt your back. You mean?
Well, I mean, it wasn't really his fault that he hurt my back, but yes, we were in a match. He was bricklayer Bill, and he gave me the pile driver. He gave me the pile driver, right? He gave me the pile driver that hurt my back, and it wasn't really his fault. It wasn't really my fault. I just came down wrong in a weird way. He had a hold of me. We were communicating the entire time, and well, his brother Phil just gave me a call, and apparently his knee was messed up from when he was in the hospital a couple years ago, and his knee has never really been the same. So he told me they found him at the bottom of his stairs at the house. He had fallen, like his knee had given out, and he didn't survive.
Oh, God.
Yeah, terrible.
Right.
I mean, it stinks.
Are you like okay? Like, I didn't think you guys were friends after that.
I mean, we were always really, really close up until that point, and it's hard, you know. Like you feel like you're friends with someone, and suddenly the communication's not there like it used to be. Like we talked every once in a while, and then it was gone. It was just like complete cut off at that moment, and suddenly I get this news out of nowhere, and I just don't know how. I'm sort of still processing it, really.
Yeah. She'll just kind of lean her head up against your shoulder. I mean, you're clearly cut up about it, so like, I'm sorry for your loss, I guess. That super sucks. And like, he was your age, so it's like weird. You're not that old.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
See, I can still make you laugh.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
But seriously, that super sucks. I'm really sorry.
Well, I mean, it's going to happen to us all, right? But he was really young. I just wish we had been, I don't know. I wish I had a chance to talk to him one last time, I guess.
Well, I think on that note, with a promise from your keeper that might happen, the camera will pan up on you guys sitting on the bench and fade to black, because I think we're going to take a quick bio break. And then we will return for our second half-ish, where we might get to some wrestling.
Yeah.
All right. Will, do you need to take us out or anything? Or
Yeah, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. See you soon.
We're back.
We are.
Hey, everybody. Will, do you need to say anything?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back.
Great. All right. Got that out of the way. Now we can get back to this game that we're playing. We have spent a fun night at the Seaview Palace Motel in Ashton Falls, Massachusetts. And dawn breaks on the 4th of July, the most American and freedom of holidays. And we are here to put on a goddamn wrestling show for these people. Now, Don, you had instructions from Birdie that you all are supposed to have a morning meeting with the manager of Derlith Promotions, an individual named Regina Scarlett. And you are to meet with her to go over your, what's going to happen, make sure everybody gets paid, figure out the matches, everybody make sure we're vibing all right. And that meeting is supposed to take place at 8 a.m. at the Block Memorial Arena. How late is everyone?
Well, now that we know we got, I guess we stay home. I guess.
Does Melody know that Regina's going to be there? Is this information relayed to her? Okay.
Well, Don, what sort of communication do you have with your team, I guess is the question.
Don would have told everybody in no uncertain terms, we got to be up early. We got a thing.
All right. That's very specific. Thanks, Don.
Eve would be there 5 minutes early. By the time everyone else gets there, there's like 3 cigarettes on the ground.
I think Betty would get there just before we're supposed to be there. Has everything in like various bags and stuff like that. Is just like fully prepared to leave here and go right to wherever we're supposed to go. It's like, oh, you're here early-ish, I guess. Are we supposed to be here this time?
I like to get a good start on my day.
Yeah, I do.
So it's nice to see you. Didn't know you were going to be with this outfit before I applied. I'm sorry. I should have given you your space. I know that you like your space, and I should have done more to investigate this before I came out here like an idiot.
That's no problem at all, really. I mean, it's kind of in a way nice to see.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we got nothing but time now, huh? We got nothing but time. I know time was hard to find for some people, but now we have lots of it, and that's good.
Yeah, I feel like as Betty is about to apologize, I feel like that would be a great entrance for someone else to come in.
Yeah. Roxy will make an entrance. She's in like Daisy Dukes and like a tied plaid shirt with like a teeny tiny tank top underneath. Her hair's in plaits. She's already like not full glam, but like mostly there. She's like, hey, did you guys sleep okay? Because this hotel is awful. I am so unimpressed.
Yeah, I think we slept all right. I heard some Donnie and Melody over
Oh
there.
my God.
Are they like?
Okay, that is my dad. So don't even. Ew.
I understand that he's your dad,
That is my dad. Disgusting.
Listen, to be fair, we did hear a lot of banging, so
Okay,
I don't know.
but there was a rat. It was disgusting.
Wait, you guys were doing that with a rat? That's kind of fucked up.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And
I think I asked
that is
too
what
many
I'm
questions.
going to tell Birdie when we see them, because
You gotta tell Birdie about this.
Well,
wouldn't that get them fired?
What do you mean?
You guys are banging a rat at like 3 a.m. with your dad and your brother in the room.
No, it was gross.
Wait, all of you?
Yeah, it sounds gross. That checks out.
You are killing me. You are literally killing me, and it is not okay.
Melody walks in hearing it was gross. Are we talking about the rat? You all, it was so disgusting.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it?
What did we? What, Roxy?
This one says you guys were up all night banging rats.
That is not what I said. Oh my god.
There was a rat in our room.
Yes, and it had a person's face, and it bit Dad in the face. It was gross. I hit
In
it
the
with a
face?
shovel and killed it.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
He looks hideous now. It's
Yeah,
like
Don,
he's-
how's your face
yeah.
looking this morning?
Probably not great, but I think Don shows up last, but acts like other people made us late. Like he'll show up last, but he'll get right into the car and be like, "All right, everybody, we gotta go. So no more dawdling. Everybody, put your
Yeah,
stuff
you look
in."
like shit. That's a shame.
Don, I
That's
will
your whole
say that-
moneymaker right there.
I will say that Don is partially dressed for the ring, which means that he is wearing a suit that is partially torn and ripped up, and he does have a base layer of like zombie makeup on.
I mean, worse than usual is what I mean. I mean, you got to do a lot more to, cover up that mug to look ugly. And today you're not really doing that much. No offense.
Listen, don't get me started on the fucking rat.
He's definitely coming down with rabies. Like, there's no way he's not. You should have seen that rat.
Well, I mean, you can't take him to the hospital. You know how things are.
That's what I said. Thank you.
Yeah, I get it. Fucking Reagan, am I right?
Fucking Reagan.
Too much.
Reagan fucking rats.
Yeah.
You can't
Whole lot of
vote against Reagan if you're dead, Dawn.
All right, listen, she's got a point.
That's true. Not that I would ever, but
God bless America.
Also-
Who's driving? Who's driving this clown
Unless someone takes the wheel.
car? Okay.
I think Donald would try. Don would try to get into the driver's seat because he is late.
You
So that's
wanna-
part of his whole shtick of like, we got to get going. We got to get on the road. We can't stand around anymore.
Okay, well, you take the wheel then. It's fine.
Midwestern dad mode activate. Let's go.
Starts driving away, and then I imagine somebody points out that we left Steve.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say Steve probably got up wicked early, like 5 o'clock in the morning, to like work out and sort of like go on a run and stuff like that. So he actually probably passed Memorial Hall and stopped in to make sure the ring was tight and was looking at the ring and making sure that it was safe for our wrestlers. So when you guys pull up, he's already outside of Memorial Hall.
Perfect.
All right.
So
That tracks.
as we pull the van up, Don says out loud, "Oh my God, we forgot your brother."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nobody
Your
tell
bro
him.
Farrah. All right.
Everybody just be cool.
You know where he is. He's always up at stupid o'clock, even if we're up late, whatever. He's probably in there in his stupid shorts, in his just waiting with that look on his face.
Oh.
God.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think as you pull up, both Steve and a person in a like full janitor's uniform, like kind of leaning on a mop, are standing outside. And Steve, are you a coffee do you have?
He will have black coffee.
Okay. So
yeah.
like bad motel coffee, but it does the trick. And this janitor whom you were introduced to when you were like scoping out the ring, his name is Manfred. And in the time that you and Manfred have like toured the facility and he's like showing you around, he has consumed 5 cans of Red Eye Cola. Just like, that's all this person seems to exist on, is this soda that Melody has told you is really, really nasty.
I think at one point I will probably take one of the cans and just take a look at the ingredients on it, like the sugar and stuff on this nutrition label. If there's even like a nutrition label on it in 1985,
I mean, there is a nutrition label. There are ingredients on it. Are you reading them?
Yeah.
Make me a sanity roll. No, I'm kidding.
I was literally just typing, it would make sense if there was a nuclear plant nearby and that's where they make that shit.
It's a 29/22. So
I'm not actually going to have you lose sanity, but you are going to be shocked that this person is alive. Like, at the rate of consumption, this person should be dead. Because there is so much caffeine and sugar, and like, you don't recognize half of the ingredients on there, but like, they don't sound good.
Awesome. I'm going to tell Manfred that he should probably get some blood work done, just to make sure he's okay.
He looks at you and he's like, I don't got health insurance.
Oh,
bless you, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, me either. But
it's like, you're a wrestler and you don't have health insurance?
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. So.
God, I hope you don't ever get hurt. Like, in the ring, that'd be really bad.
If you ever got hurt,
like pushing on Boone, I'm like I sort of start rubbing my back at the same time as he's saying that.
Right. So yeah, you guys pull up on Manfred giving Steve some life advice about health insurance, and then downing another can, crushing it, and throwing it in the garbage bin.
I told you, stupid shorts. Look on his face.
And that's exactly what you get. I'm wearing stupid shorts, and like, I'm getting you to look like, come on, guys, where have you been?
I'm gonna look at Steve. You didn't drink one of those, did you?
Nope, absolutely not. Read the label though. Not gonna read. Those won't touch my lips. You won't. No worries about that. Nope.
Wise decision making.
I take your coffee and take a sip and hand it back. Ugh.
All right, everybody out.
Forget.
It is probably thick and strong. Like, you could put a spoon in it and have it stand up.
Oh yeah,
I always forget
the front,
you don't put sugar.
The front desk man made that coffee 3 days ago, and it's just been sitting on the hot plate since then. So it is strong.
All right, everybody out. We got to start getting set up. Let's go.
Okay. You're doing good. You're
so
great.
as you all are like filing out and getting all of your stuff, Birdie comes screeching up in their Camaro, absolutely like double parks it, just like stops the car wherever they feel like, gets out, and then throws the keys to Don.
Hey, Don, why don't you let me park that? I could park it. I could do it. Let me park. I could park it. You got better things to do.
Don looks at the keys, looks at Birdie, looks at Evelyn, shrugs, and throws the keys to Evelyn.
Thanks. All right. Good morning, Birdie, looking like a vision.
Birdie, who also has a cigarette in their mouth, looks you up and down, looks at the cars like, are you sure you can handle that?
I mean, what do you think? What do you take me for? What do I look like? I look like I can't handle the car. I can handle horsepower. I could do it. I'm a very, mighty kind of person. I know stuff about cars. I'm good.
I just look at you.
I wink. Do a little like flex my muscles a little bit. Show off.
Birdie reaches into, and they're wearing like a mustard yellow suit, like double-breasted with very square shoulders that makes their form very triangular. Reaches in, flicks you a cigarette, and is like, don't smoke in the car. But
never. I put my existing cigarette out. I tuck that one behind my ear, and I just I imagine this is a convertible vehicle.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I jump into the driver's seat, and I very, very gently repark the car.
All right, legally.
But I look really cool the whole time. I got like my arm hanging out. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And when I look over and I see Betty like struggling with her stuff, I'm just like, I'm being like extra careful backing it up.
All right, Birdie is just going in and has made the let's go, time is money, people gesture for you all to follow.
Yep.
Betty trots off.
Yeah,
hurriedly.
Don's like, Roxy, get set up. Steve, don't hurt yourself. Melody, get dressed. Betty, don't kiss anything. We got yelled at last time. Don't kiss any mirrors. Don't kiss any glass. Don't kiss anything.
I really don't know if I can promise that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not
When it
asking
takes over,
why.
it takes over.
I'm not asking why it happens. I'm just asking you not to do it.
Hey,
Ask me later.
you can't fuck up the ritual though. You got, that's gonna fuck everything up, man. You can't we gotta, the thing, you gotta get into it. You can't.
I have a hand mirror you can borrow, I guess.
Really?
If that counts.
Where's
Yeah.
it from? Did you buy it?
I mean, yeah.
Did you find it? Oh.
No, I bought it at...
Oh, it's bought? Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
But thanks.
Did you want me to forge it? You're... Whatever.
This sounds like a conversation that could happen while we're getting ready.
Walking and talking.
Yeah, this is the classic walk and talk. This facility is new. Like, you guys have been in some shitty, rundown, past their prime venues. This place, it's like it was built last year. Everything is crisp, clean, and the first thing you do is you walk into like the ticketing place, and it's big. It's got like a ticketing place where like multiple stations. Clearly this building can support an audience. And Manfred the janitor sort of like guides you into the auditorium itself, which is massive. Like, for a town this size, you're expecting a venue of like 500 people, maybe 1,000 if you were lucky. This thing has got seats for maybe 6,000 people. Big, like, arched ceiling. Like, this is a big, huge open space. Like, this is legit. You have no idea how a small town venue put this together, but like, this is going to be the biggest place that E.L.B.O.W has ever wrestled in. Like, your home venue is half this size.
Bernie, you're clearly making some money off of us for this. You couldn't have sprung for slightly better hotel rooms?
Oh, I got a great room.
Meant for us. There was a rat in our room, Bertie.
It was awful.
Look, Bertie, I think what
There's
everybody's
just a
trying
lot
to
of
say...
staring. Like, why are you wasting my time with this?
I'll handle this, everybody. Bertie, I think what everybody's trying to say is, what are we going to do with the other 5,900 seats?
Oh, don't worry. They've told me that that it's sold out.
Incredible.
And you will all be getting a bonus if that is in fact the case.
Yeah.
I wanted to save that information as a 4th of July present, but thanks, Don.
Yeah, Daddy. You spoiled the fun.
Mm.
Now, can we... Listen, I got things to do. I want to go meet with this Scarlet woman. You guys can sort it all out.
Yeah, let's go.
Wait, you mean with the Scarlet Queen?
Hmm?
You better beware.
What?
We saw a sign.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was a sign. It said, beware the Scarlet Queen. You're going out to meet a Scarlet Queen. I'm just telling you, be careful. So
Technically, it was the Queen in red, but...
there you go.
I mean,
that's what it says.
I mean, scarlet and red are kind of similar colors, but just slightly different.
Only to the uninitiated is what Bertie says. There is a strong difference between red and scarlet. Thank you very much.
All right.
Are you saying that Regina is here?
And she like pulls out a book. Yeah, Regina Scarlet. She runs Derlith Promotions.
Yep. Cool. There's dressing rooms here, right? I'm assuming I'm gonna go change. You all do your meeting. You don't need me for that, right?
Oh no, this is mandatory for all of you. If you want your bonus.
Look, Bertie, I'm not sure that's such a good idea. Sure you want
Don, I'm not
everybody
sure I
there?
care.
I'm just saying not everybody in this outfit is very good at talking to people.
I'm a people person.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
If you give me like 15 minutes, I'll be a people person.
Bertie just like points at everyone like, what are you talking about?
You'll see. Let's go.
I mean,
Oh boy.
All right, so if everyone is in the mood to go talk to Regina Scarlet, then Manfred will escort you. Otherwise, you are free to move off to your dressing rooms and whatnot, but you would have to find those on your own.
Gonna go do that.
Great. I love splitting the party. That's a thing I'll enjoy doing.
Oh God.
Mm.
I bet there's a lot of mirrors in dressing rooms, huh?
There
Oh
are.
no!
Amazing.
Mirrors
There
are.
are currently less scary for me than Regina Scarlet. So I'm just gonna go do that.
Is anyone going with Melody, or is everyone else going to see the boss?
If we have to forfeit our bonus, then I'm gonna go see Regina.
Agree.
All right.
I think Steve will probably look to Dawn and say, "Do you need me there? I can show her where her dressing room is."
Yeah, no, you probably got more important things to do.
Okay.
All right.
So I will go with Melody.
All right. To keep this brief so we can maybe get to some wrestling tonight, the group that's going to see Regina are escorted by Manfred to a upper store, like it's a multi-story building, and you go up to the top floor, and there's a door that just says Regina Scarlet, and it's like one of those industrial, like, gray doors, but someone has put fancy plate on it. And you knock, and you are beckoned in, and it's like you're stepping into a 1920s gangster office. Like, it's got rich carpeting, it's got old wood bookshelves and chairs that are overstuffed, and like a huge old desk. And it's got a window that actually overlooks the ocean. Like, you look out and you can see it there. It's beautiful. There's like a big, huge beach. You can see people are already there. Out beyond the beach, there's like this nice reef that sort of creates a nice little harbor. It's a lovely scene. And sitting at the desk is a woman also straight out of the 1920s. She's got like very short hair, sort of shellacked to her head with like a little curl. She's wearing a bright red, like, dressing gown, and she's smoking a cigarette with the longest holder. And she says, "I thought we were meeting 15 minutes ago."
Well, you see, there's a little bit of miscommunication when it came to certain individuals waking up. Time zone issue.
I've always found that sleep is for the weak. And she looks
Sometimes.
directly at Roberta and is like, "This is the best you could bring? Really?"
Miss Scarlet, no disrespect, but sometimes you got to sleep on the weekend too.
Who are you? Why are you speaking?
Don Whitley. He'll like lean forward and offer a handshake.
She takes your hand, and firm handshake. And she says, "Don, you might have a point." It doesn't excuse the rest of you, but we were supposed to meet about this event. Can I offer you some refreshments? And she snaps her fingers, and two individuals who look exactly like her, like down to the hairstyle, all the features, the height, come in the room, and they're wearing like red bodysuits. One of them has black and red hearts all over it, and the other has alternating black and red diamonds. And she says, "These are the Red Jacks. I think two of you will be fighting them later tonight. Girls." And they have little trays, and they each have like these very nice crystal glasses. And then there's a can on the side that says, "Red Eye Cola, Freedom Edition."
We're supposed to keep our bodies like temples before a fight, but thank you.
Yeah, Miss Scarlet, I'm the trainer of this promotion, and we got pretty strict rules about match days.
Sure you don't want to wet your whistle?
We'll
You
wet
know,
it real good tonight.
I'm going to have all of you make me a POW roll.
yay.
16 under 40. Ooh. I pull out my own little can of Tab soda, crack it, and start drinking that, just staring down the jacks.
All right.
57 over 35.
All right.
Push a power roll. No. No.
What'd
Okay.
you get done?
I got an 86 over 50.
Oh my god.
You're doing great.
I'm not.
All right.
It's that
Before-
fight
do it.
phase.
So she says, sure you don't want to wet your whistle? And before you can even think about it, Betty and Don, you have a cup in your hand and you're taking a swig of it. And it tastes
Like freedom.
fine. Tastes like freedom.
No.
Oh my god.
Tastes like Reagan's America.
Tastes like Ronald Reagan's America. And Miss Scarlet looks at you and says, good, isn't it? We're workshopping it as a new promo that we're premiering at this event.
That's like
So
super
good.
exciting.
So,
So
do you
good.
want us to, like, I don't know, promote it while we're wrestling,
no.
saying we
No,
got
no.
energy?
We'll be doing that. Don't worry.
Oh,
We're on that. We're giving away free samples to everyone. Just if you do have more of it, don't mix it with alcohol.
okay. I'll make sure
Just
to
don't do
avoid
that. I have to say that for legal reasons.
Don will give Roxy a warning look.
All right, so listen, I have a lot of things to do today. I've got a parade. I've got a inspection of the new yacht that we're going to be using for our new ocean cruises. So I don't know a lot about wrestling. How do you do this win-lose stuff? Because you're not actually fighting, right?
It's more of a performance, it's more of a theater, if you will.
Okay, all right. So do we like flip a coin? And she looks over at Birdie, and Birdie's like just smoking, like having none of this conversation, like doesn't care.
Maybe we just get everybody together by the ring and we just all walk through how it's going to go today. I'll just walk everybody through it. How
Great.
about that?
That sounds great. Do you need anything else from me?
Think we're good, but you did want to learn a little something about wrestling later, I'd be happy to walk you through it.
She's like busy like writing something on the desk, and when you say that, her eyes like snap up to you with a look of understanding. And she gets up and she sort of does that thing where she circles around you and runs her arm across your shoulders. Make me a POW roll.
28 under 50.
You get the chills, you get the shivers, you feel your knees go weak, and you think you would have been jelly if you hadn't steeled yourself, but she gives you the look that's like, yeah, all right. I'll call you after the show. Jax, figure all this shit out.
Eve takes the loudest slurp of their beverage, like
Behind her back, behind the person's back, Roxy's just like,
Yuck.
Hmm.
All right. I have a proposition for everyone. I suggest that we, as a team, quickly figure out who's going to win what matches and who will be fighting, and then we move on to the main event. Is that acceptable to everyone? I'm just going to say, Melody and Steve, normal time in the locker room.
I don't trust it.
You're welcome. Happy to do that for you. So the first match that we have on the card is going to be Betty and the Lioness, if I remember correctly. That's going to be our hardcore, no holds barred match with weapons and any other things that happen to happen. Betty, do you have any opinions on if you want to win or lose?
I feel like to open the match, I feel like to get people riled up, I feel like Betty potentially should win just to kind of get people like really into it. It's going to be a lot of back and forth, like who's winning. And then Betty does end up on top, which is just going to leave the audience kind of fiery for hopefully a win for the good guys.
All right. I'm totally happy to do that. And Lioness, who so we're having this meeting at ringside, and I'm just going to be everyone who isn't you guys, as I usually am. Lioness is a person that you recognize. You've met Lioness before. Lioness seems to have a side gig at the Seaview Palace Motel, potentially as a maid.
Oh no!
Oh, she's so big.
So
yes,
hot.
correct. And Candace, since I think that you had described Linus's outfit when we did our session 0, I'm going to have you tell everyone what that is like. Because that is the product of your mind, not mine. And I just want everyone to know that.
She's wearing a onesie, but like a high leg cut onesie, and has like gold knee pads and elbow pads that match. And the onesie is like a velour, like golden brown color. And it has like a deep V in the front with like a little gold belt around the waist. And then it has a hood that comes up that has ears on it and like a lion's mane around like the boob and head area. And she has like little like knuckle guards that are like little soft like paw mittens.
Far more intimidating than you thought Lioness might be.
Yeah, like in this, I imagine she looks fucking terrifying. Like a smaller person would be like, "Oh, you're so cute," but she's like,
right? Yes,
I love it.
100%.
So good.
Second match is our tag team match with King Evil and Maynard. Am I pronouncing it right? Maynard. Sorry. Yes. And you two will be fighting the Red Jacks, who have their heart and diamond sort of playing card. We're identical twins, not at all creepy vibe.
Mm-hmm.
How are you guys feeling? Do you want to take them out? Do you want to get taken out?
Oh, no. Maydad is going to insist on winning, especially when she sees who they look at. She's like, yeah, we're not losing. Sorry.
No.
All right. And to be clear, Maynard, your finishing move, the Bacchanalia, is involved in this, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the thing for everyone to look forward to.
Uh-huh. Did you want me to go ahead and describe that now, or are we waiting?
I think that's a nice secret that we can keep in our pockets.
Okay. All right.
I've described what the Red Jacks look like. Their names are Jackie Hart and Jacqueline Diamond, by the way. Just for that. Our third match is in fact for the E.L.B.O.W Women's Championship belt. Nelly or Roxy is going to be fighting Athena, who is literally dressed like the Greek goddess Athena with, robe, golden sort of breastplate, helmet, spear, shield, and just as big as Lioness, like jacked. What are your thoughts on this match, Roxy?
Well, Roxy never loses, so looks like home team's just gonna get trounced, start to finish.
Okay. Are you going to win fair and square, or are you cheating?
Oh, I am very much cheating.
Okay, good to know. Oh.
I think if there's like lots of discussion with our side kind of winning them all, Betty will happily kind of take the fall and lose her match first.
For sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%.
Okay. All right. So Betty is losing the match. Tag team E.L.B.O.W is winning, and championship E.L.B.O.W is winning. Which
I believe we discussed online or offline though. Asterisk winning.
Right. Brainwave.
Not losing the belt.
Not losing the belt.
No.
And that brings us to our final match, which is a bit of a departure because we are having two legends of the ring, Donald Deegan and Stevie Whiplash, come out of retirement to fight the Derleth Promotions champion, the High Priestess. But there are some special conditions on that match because it's a cage match. And it's not just any kind of cage match. It's a lightning rod cage match.
Oh my god.
Did I know about that ahead of time? Is that new
Nope.
information?
That's
That feels
new
like
information.
Cool.
But the High Priestess is good enough that she can take both of you on, and we're pretty insistent that High Priestess wins.
I think Donald Deegan, the character that Don is playing for E.L.B.O.W, always loses. That's the whole point of the character. As he is former movie star turned undead man with political aspirations.
Right.
Yeah. And terrible ideas about economics.
Yes.
But I think it's one of those things where Don doesn't even ask Stevie about, like, he just assumes like it's understood, like, yeah, we're gonna dive. We're gonna take a dive on this.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's our matches wrapped. If anyone has any questions, otherwise, I think we're ready to start this promotion.
I think the only thing is Roxy would look very seriously at her dad and at Steve and go, "What the fuck? Are you sure?"
What do you mean?
I mean, you're fine. Sorry, Stevie. It's just we don't want him to get hurt again. Also, that whole thing with the electric cage is not ideal.
Listen, lightning never strikes twice.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Did I hear
Melody,
that?
are you okay?
Did I hear that?
I think
No.
you probably did.
I think generally Don's probably pretty careful about talking about that kind of thing around Melody, but it's possible she overheard it this time.
Well, Melody, do you want to make a listen check?
Sure. Sure, would love that. What did I don't think. Nope, I got it. Over 30.
Okay. So, Don, you
Not
were
lucky.
careful enough that you probably did the, I don't talk about that.
Yeah.
The lightning doesn't strike
Ixnay on the lightning lay.
Right. All right, so you all head back to your dressing room, get ready. There are monitors back there so that you are able to, see what's going on, make sure that your cues are good. Time passes, and this auditorium fills up. Like, they were not kidding when they said that they sold out all of these seats, and you can see on the monitors that it's just like people everywhere. Like, there are thousands of people here. You guys are probably going to get that bonus. It's going to be pretty sweet because usually it's a percentage of ticket sales, and there are a lot of ticket sales here, you guys. So just putting that out there. They do the shtick, the welcome, blah, 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 freedom, pinwheels, fireworks, America, eagles, flags. We sing the anthem. There's a fireworks show. And then the announcer, whose name happens to be mostly Marsh, says that it is time for our first match. Please allow me to introduce first the challenger from Are you from Banff? Is that correct? Or are you billed elsewhere?
Build Hollywood, California.
From Hollywood, California, please welcome Betty. Betty Boop?
Betty Bash.
Betty Bash, that's right, excuse me. Betty, what does your entrance look like?
So you see kind of coming in, Sweet Dreams kind of begins to pump in from the, just for the audio, the stereo. And you see basically, Betty's now done kind of very much a pinup. You see these high-waisted black shorts with these red buttons, 6 of them kind of parallel to each other, very high-waisted. Wears a tight white bustier, like they are cinched in the kind of the hourglass figure. They're a very short individual, around 5'3". So though they're small, they have very long legs in this with this outfit, or at least the illusion is there. They've put in blue eye contacts, but they still have their hair very nicely kind of slightly curled and coiffed. They have little tails, little sideburns that are curled upwards. Everything's very perfect, very plastered. And the others would know, they kind of stuff their corset, as they are not very ample up here, but when they're wrestling, they are. And they start walking in with like a little kind of sachet, like 1 foot jump, 2 foot jump. And I would say, as the heel, the entire kind of auditorium starts booing. And she's just blowing kisses to the audience and waving her little fingers. All her nails are slightly long, and in a red, white, and blue color scheme as she skips up to the ring. And you see off the side what looks like a little vanity that's there. There's some little bits of makeup on the side. Not sure why. The mirror is nope, it's a full mirror. And she like slides very elegantly onto the stage and kind of skips around and just shakes her head, playing as though the boos are cheers and kind of waving to everybody very I would say very elegantly.
Amazing. Giving you a bonus dice for your entrance, because that was amazing. There are all of these boos, but there is one cheer. One actual cheer that you can hear almost above the boos. And you look over and you see Howard. Howard is standing there, even though he's banned from elbows matches, he's made it into this one, and he's holding a sign. And that sign says, "Boop me, Betty." And he's just cheering his little heart out. Yeah, Betty! Woo! Losing his mind. Everyone around him is like, what is wrong with this dude? But he is Betty's biggest fan. 100%, and he has come out in force to show his Betty support. The mood quickly changes when the announcer says, "And hailing from our own shores here in Ashton Falls, Massachusetts, may I present the Lioness." And then there's like some really like over the top Van Halen-esque like synth rock that comes over, and Lioness comes out, and Lioness is just carrying a stop sign, just a straight up stop sign, and she walks to the ring with no kind of like elegance or whatever. It's just like, I am here to do business. She's ignoring the crowd, who are going crazy. Like, the crowd loves Lioness, and she like throws the stop sign in the ring and slides under the bottom rope, and then does like a and everyone's like, yeah, Lioness. And then there's a ding ding, and the match starts. I'll take an intention from you, Betty.
So what I'd like to do, essentially?
Yes.
Yes. So I think the first thing that Betty does is reach into their little bustier there, and they will take out a little compact. And as Lioness is kind of walking up, they take the compact and they're kind of powdering their face a little bit. And they're essentially getting ready to chuck a bunch of powder into her eyes.
All right. I'm just gonna have you make me a performance check for this bit, and then Lioness will do an actual wrestling check, and depending on who wins, we will narrate what happens. So,
All right. I got a hard success, 25 under 75.
all right, Lioness got a regular success. So I think that your opening move of the powder in the face, like, absolutely works, and Lioness is batting at her eyes with her little mittened hands that Candace so wonderfully described. And there's a moment where, she's sort of flailing around, but she catches you, like, you get hit and you sort of fall back, and you hear Howard in the background going, "Get her, Betty! Get her!"
I think what happens as Betty is smacked, you see her fall backwards, like she's overacting this entire thing, stumbling backwards, flies over, like top over the rope and loops around and falls down beside the ring. I think stumbles back up and looks around to Howard and hurries over and says, "Do you mind giving that to me, baby?"
He's like flabbergasted. He's just like, "Yeah, here you go.
Thank you. I'll take it. And as I take the sign, not going to do it yet, but I'll make my way and sliding myself back into the ring.
All right. So I'm going to have you roll a D3, and that's going to be to psych up the crowd. So we're trying to get to a point where the crowd is super excited. And after that, then we will do the match result, basically.
Yeah, got a 2.
All right. So the crowd definitely hated the powder to the face. Not cool. They loved you getting knocked over. They're a little confused as to why you now have a sign. They're like, "Well, what's going on?" But this is a hardcore match, remember? No disqualifications, no countouts. The only way to win is to pin or submit. And I think Lioness's intention is she starts to go for the stop sign. Like she's gonna smack you with it. What would you like to do?
I'm going to take that sign and I'm going to break it in half over my knee and essentially just try to bash her with parts of this sign. It says like "boop me" on one side and "Betty" on the other.
Amazing. Yes. So we'll make a contested roll again, and we'll see who comes out on top with that one.
I got a failure.
Oh no. I got a success. So I think there's some flailing. It's like you're hitting with this sign, but it's not. Lioness is she's too tough for that. And then she just turns around and wallops you with this stop sign. There's the sound, there's the smash, and the sound echoes through the auditorium. I assume you sell this really well. Like, it's like, "Oh no, boo."
Oh yeah, it's like a fly across the ring, and I go into the rope, and then I bounce back and do that running thing where you're like disoriented and running towards the person.
Yes, and then you get a boot to the face. Just like, boom.
Yeah, face backwards. And of course, kind of with the wrestling special effects, it looks like her nose is bleeding as she hits the ground. There's some blood there. And kind of like rolls around on the ground, stunned.
All right. At this point, Lioness drops out of the ring and goes under and starts pulling out steel chairs. Like tossing them into the ring. The crowd is going nuts. I'm going to roll for Lioness. Lioness did 5 points of damage to the crowd. So the crowd is like fired up. They're like, "Yeah, booper, get her." The steel chairs are flying into the ring, and then Lioness reaches under and pulls out a 2x4 that's been wrapped in barbed wire and holds it up to the crowd, and the crowd just fucking goes crazy. Howard, at this point, has leapt into the ring. Like, he's leapt over the barricade and is like trying to pick Betty up off the ground. He's like, "It's okay. You can get her, Betty. You can get her."
No, I know. Thank you so much for being so nice, but it's fine. And I'll help myself up. Be like, "Go sit back down. You're gonna get hit by some barbed wire. It's dangerous."
As you stand up and you're like, go sit down, he drops to one knee. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a ring. And he flips it open. And somehow the ring mics catch all of this above the roar of the crowd. And he says, Betty, will you make me the happiest man on the planet? Before you have a chance to respond, Lioness comes into the ring and says, hey, is this guy bothering you?
And without trying to indicate to everybody else in this area that there is a problem, I think makes eye contact with Lioness and kind of that silent communication of, yes, this is a problem.
At that point, Lioness drops the 2x4 with the barbed wire and goes back down and comes out with a sledgehammer. And she's like holding up her hands to the crowd. She's like, hold on just a second. We'll take care of this little problem and then we'll get back to our fight. And then he's still on his knees, like hoping, and he's like looking at Lioness, and he's looking at you. He's like, oh, this is all exciting. And then Lioness swings the sledgehammer right into his temple, like a baseball bat. Just like, bam! And Betty, you're close enough to hear the bones break in his skull. And you see his eyes roll up, and there's blood. And then Lioness drops the sledgehammer and, like, kicks his body out of the ring. And she's like, all right. And the crowd goes wild. They're fucking mad with it. They have no idea what's going on, but they're loving it. They're absolutely loving it. Everyone who's watching on the monitors, that boy ain't moving. And you can see that there are like EMTs coming out to like pick him up and take him back into the ring. I think we're at a point where we can wrap this match up, Betty. How would you like to lose?
I think being the consummate professional that Betty is, she is going to act her way through the shock and terror that she is currently experiencing, as this is not what was expected. I got a 39 to under 75 to act like I'm okay, but Betty is definitely not.
Okay.
And I think Betty will go in for a flying booty bash, where she's essentially going to build up speed, kind of ricocheting off these ropes. And as Lioness kind of steps in to wait, she's going to try to do this like flying kind of kick, but instead of kicking her face, will wrap her legs around her face to try and like take her down.
All right. And I think Lioness would be countering that and like flipping Betty to the point where then there's a pin, if that's
exactly. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. So I don't even think we need to roll for it. I think that we are at a point where we're both professionals. We know what we're doing. You get the 1, 2, 3. Lioness wins, and the crowd goes crazy, and Lioness is just like covered like blood. Like she's got blood splatter all over her from Howard's brain. She's like, yeah, and the crowd is going, yeah, that was so great. And I think we will fade to black at the end of that scene, and we will wrap up our first session of the Miskatonic Screwjob. Bet you weren't expecting an audience murder.
Murder? No.
Really?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
The audience is like cool with it. They're fine with it.
They think it's part of the show.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. They think it's part of the show. It's not like this weird town of people who are just like, yeah, this is where people get murdered. That's fine.
Yeah, we do murder wrestling here. Didn't you know? No, I would say watching the vibes, like from the monitor, you get the impression that they are like, you know, this is all part of the performance. You know, it must be like a fake sledgehammer or something with a blood pack on it. You know.
And this is the 80s, so we don't have like a monitor in the dressing room, do we?
No. Well, you have like one thing so you can see what's going on. Like it's like one of those like long distance fixed cameras, like kind of grainy, whatever. So
I can only imagine the three of us in the ladies' dressing room, like, guys,
Yeah.
What
Jesus Christ.
was that?
Oh my God. This is amazing.
Wow. What a time we've had tonight.
Thank you
Those
so
are
much,
some words.
Alex.
Yeah, this is
thanks,
great.
Alex.
Yeah, thank
That was
you. Oh my
awesome, Alex.
God.
Oh, good. Holy shit.
Do we want to go around and tell everybody where to find everyone?
sure, why
Cool.
not?
Sure.
Starting with you.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm your keeper of arcane and kayfabe lore this evening. You can find me on Twitter at mightiestfinn. I have some projects in the works that I will probably talk about at some point there. So follow me, and I will give you all the deets as they are available and unredacted. I write in the Backwards universe. We have put out one book, Backwater, which is a Southern Gothic horror TTRPG, available on itch. And we have a new book coming out soonish, month or two, called Backroads, which expands the universe and moves the action from New Orleans to the post-apocalyptic ruins of St. Louis. And I just want to say thank you all. This has been a pleasure. I can't wait for 2 weeks from now.
Yes. Bob?
Hey, everybody. You can find me at Stage Outlaw on Twitter and Instagram. I think that's all the places that I really am right now. Check me out on Crossroads Games. I have done multiple shows with them. Love hanging out and doing shows with them as well. And I'm excited to come back and give Steve Whitley a nice send-off wrestling match here.
Hell yeah. Candace?
Hello, everybody. I have been Eve. I am Candace. You can find me at that Candace Girl, CANDACE, over on Twitter, where you can keep up with all of my goings on. I'm also at Candace the Magnificent on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. I will be at the table of Wes and the gang over at 12-Sided Stories every Tuesday. And I have some other projects coming up as well. I'm working on a cyberpunk game with a certain someone. I don't know if it's been announced, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna say anything. If they want to say something, they could say it. Otherwise, just check me out on Crossroads Games and follow me on Twitter for all my stuff. I'm probably forgetting something important. So
That's a mood. Farah?
Hello, I am Farah Sarkaya. You will find me all over the social medias as Farrakaya, as well as at Crossroads Games and 12-Sided Stories as well every other Wednesday on our podcast. Check out all of the incredible stuff that is coming at Crossroads Games, including but not limited to some very exciting Delta Green fun in the next couple weeks. See you
What?
there.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
What?
What?
No, I
Chrissy.
didn't say anything.
Oh, hi. Yeah. I'm Chrissy. You can find me on most internet spaces. Well, actually, almost all the internet spaces now as Chrissy and Keller. And projects wise, I don't know what I can announce. So you can find me in a few Crossroads Games things, including maybe some Delta Green stuff. Maybe. And also 12-Sided Stories on Tuesdays with Candace and Wes and the crew. And gosh, we play together a lot. I love that. And then also I'm part of the E.L.B.W podcast. And we drop on Tuesdays. Although our schedule has been a little wonky since the holidays. We're trying to fix that. But yeah, just follow me on Twitter, and I have some other stuff that will be announced soon. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Piper?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I've been Piper or Matihi. You can find me at Maddie Matihi on Twitter. You can find me at Matihi on Twitch. And I'm in a few different things that are going on. Every other Saturday, not this Saturday, unfortunately, we are playing What We Do in the Shallows. It is a queer 5e campaign that I run, all about gay pirates, smooching, many other things, and also a rat named Chip, and I love him very dearly. Very sapphic, very queer. I am also, and Candace, Fabs did say it on the channel. So Candace and I are going to be over at Bad House RPG. We're going to be running the Cyberpunk Red Shattered Dawn. The cast is absolutely phenomenal. It is so good. The entire thing's very queer and messy. It is wonderful and so exciting. And also, later this month, I'll be having my debut on Crossroads Games, which I'm very excited about. So stay tuned to keep an eye out for that. And this was just so much fun. It's such a good time.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everybody. I'll go ahead and just plug some Live from the Apocalypse stuff mostly. My name is Will. You can find me on social media at WillMScream. Mostly you can find me here at Live from the Apocalypse, where I'm one of the storytellers and one of the organizers. We do a lot of things here. Check out Academy H, which is our Masks actual play podcast. There'll be a new episode dropping this Sunday, and we record the episodes live on Twitch every other Sunday. Sydney from Nat 20 Production joined us this last Sunday, and then 2 Sundays from now will also be joining us for finishing out a story arc. This coming Sunday night, premiering The Madigans, which is a Dresden Files game where all of the players are siblings who have been brought together by the untimely death of their wizard father. They have to sort of figure out what happened. And then on Tuesday, we have Class Reunion, which is the 5e homebrew that I run about a group of high school students from Ohio who have been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years. It's a great time. It's extremely gay, and it's only getting gayer every session. So check it out if you want next Tuesday. I think that's going to be pretty much it for us here tonight. If you're not already following us on the socials, go ahead and do that. And if you are so inclined, you can feel free to join our Discord community, which is a great place full of great people, and we do a lot of stuff there. We do community nights, and mostly it's just very chill. And everybody's very nice, and we would love to have you be a part of it. We are going to disappear for just a second, but don't go away. We're going to raid our friends at High Shelf Collective, and I think that's pretty much going to be it for us tonight. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Night.
Good
Good night. See ya.